Listen, you feel it too, don't you? Something has shifted. Something subtle, quiet, almost invisible, yet impossible to ignore once you notice it. Look around. Men are walking away. Not loudly, not dramatically, not with anger, accusations, or screaming matches. No. They're leaving silently, with calm faces, with steady hands, with a kind of stillness that only comes when a person has been hurting for so long they finally decide to stop bleeding. Most people don't even see it happening, not at first, because men don't announce their breaking points. They don't warn you when they're tired. They don't explain when their heart starts shutting down. They just fade, a little less each day, less present, less hopeful, less invested, less alive. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed it too? Have you noticed fewer men chasing? Fewer men texting first? Fewer men planning dates, committing, trying, fighting, showing up? Why do you think that is? Do you think millions of men suddenly became lazy? Do you think they all decided at the same time to stop caring? Or is something deeper happening? Something almost no one wants to talk about out loud. Because if you search men walking away, why men are leaving, modern dating crisis, men stop dating, relationship burnout, emotional exhaustion, you'll find millions of men saying the exact same thing. And yet, somehow, nobody listens. Nobody hears the warnings. Nobody pays attention to the silence. Nobody takes the quiet exit seriously. But you should. Because when men leave quietly, it means something inside them has already died long before their body walked away. Men aren't walking away from women. They're walking away from a system that constantly asks more and more of them, while giving less and less in return. They're walking away from expectations they can never meet, from emotional labor they're never allowed to talk about, from pressure they're not allowed to admit hurts them, from blame placed on them simply for existing the wrong way. Men today live in a world where every move is criticized, every emotion is judged, every attempt is dismissed, and every failure is amplified. Smile more, talk more, open up, communicate, lead, but don't be controlling, be confident, but not arrogant, provide, but don't expect gratitude, protect, but don't set boundaries, be emotionally available, but don't show weakness. And at the end of all this, they're told, that's the bare minimum. But if a man slips even once, if he forgets something, if he's tired, if he's stressed, if his tone is slightly off, if his energy drops for a day, he's accused of not caring, not trying, not loving enough. Men are exhausted, not physically, though many are, not financially, though pressure there is enormous. They're exhausted emotionally, exhausted from giving pieces of themselves until nothing is left. And when a man reaches that point, he doesn't explode, he doesn't fight, he doesn't argue, he shuts down, quietly. A man doesn't leave when he's angry, he leaves when he's numb. Because numbness is the final stage, the point where disappointment turns into resignation, where hope burns out, where love becomes a memory instead of a feeling. Most women never notice the moment a man starts emotionally disconnecting, because men disconnect invisibly, gradually. Like someone slowly dimming a light bulb until the room is dark and you don't even remember when the brightness disappeared. It starts with small things. He stops texting first, not because he wants to play games, but because he's tired of starting conversations that go nowhere. He stops planning dates, not because he stopped caring, but because the last time he planned something thoughtful, it was dismissed or criticized or compared to someone else. He stops opening up. Not because he's cold, but because every time he expressed vulnerability, it was mocked, minimized, or used against him later. He stops arguing, not because he agrees, but because he knows he'll lose anyway. He stops explaining himself, not because he has no explanation, but because he knows he won't be heard. Eventually, he stops trying, And once a man stops trying, it's already over. Men don't want perfect relationships. They don't want perfect partners. They don't want miracles. They just want peace. And peace has become damn near impossible in modern dating. Whenever he tries to be emotionally honest, he's too sensitive. Whenever he tries to lead, he's controlling. Whenever he sets boundaries, he's toxic. Whenever he steps back, he's emotionally unavailable. He's wrong if he's too quiet, wrong if he's too expressive, wrong if he's too busy, wrong if he's too available, wrong if he works too much, wrong if he works too little. Every version of him is wrong, and yet he's told that accountability is a two-way street, except the street only seems to have one lane, and men are always walking against the traffic. So, what do men do? They don't protest. They don't demand justice. They don't start movements. They don't scream for attention. They simply walk away quietly, calmly, like someone finally stepping out of a burning room after realizing no one else even sees the fire. Men choose peace now, and peace doesn't live in chaos. Peace doesn't live in instability. Peace doesn't live in emotional games. Peace doesn't live in relationships where effort is never enough. The truth is, a man who has tasted peace, even once, will never go back to emotional starvation. He'll never again beg for attention, never again fight to be heard, never again sacrifice his sanity just to keep someone else comfortable. And when he walks away, it's not because he stopped loving, it's because he stopped breaking. He leaves not for another woman, but for the version of himself he lost trying to be enough. And here's the part no one wants to admit. When a man walks away quietly, you don't get a second chance because his decision wasn't made in the moment. It was made slowly, painfully, silently, through hundreds of small heartbreaks no one ever noticed. By the time he leaves, he's already cried every tear he had. He's already fought every internal battle. He's already repaired himself enough to walk without shaking. Men today aren't running from relationships. They're running from emotional debt that keeps piling up, from expectations that crush them, from judgment that follows them everywhere, from the constant message that they're replaceable, disposable, unnecessary, unless they're providing something. You want to know where all the good men went? They didn't disappear. They didn't die out. They didn't stop existing. They stopped showing up where they weren't valued. They stopped pouring love into people who only saw flaws. They stopped investing into bottomless pits of emotional demands. They stopped begging for appreciation that never came. They chose freedom from judgment, freedom from chaos, freedom from feeling like a failure no matter how hard they try. And that freedom tastes like peace. Peace. The one thing men were never allowed to ask for peace. The one thing modern dating rarely gives them. Peace. The one thing that finally made them walk away. So the next time you wonder, why are men leaving? Why are men done with dating? Why are good men disappearing? The real answer is simple. They're not gone. They're just done being hurt, done being blamed, done being invisible. They didn't give up on love. They just stopped sacrificing themselves for it. And in the silence, they found something stronger than validation, something stronger than romance, something stronger than approval. They found themselves. And once a man finds himself, you will never see him chase chaos again.